Welcome to Gaza, one of the oldest cities in the world, with a history spanning over 4,000 years. Gaza has been a major trade hub since ancient times, linking Africa, Asia, and Europe. The city's strategic location made it a key center for Egyptian, Roman, and Ottoman empires. Despite its challenges, Gaza is home to over 2 million people who continue their daily lives. The city has bustling markets, historical sites, and a resilient community. Despite challenges, Gaza has a rich cultural and architectural heritage. The Great Omari Mosque is one of the oldest mosques in Palestine, built over a Byzantine church. Gaza has been influenced by Phoenician, Greek, and Islamic civilizations. The Al-Sayed neighborhood has buildings over 500 years old, showcasing Ottoman architecture. Gaza's historic markets, or souk, have operated for centuries. Gaza was once known for its olive oil exports to the Remang Empire. The city has been mentioned in texts from Egyptian, Assyrian, and Greek civilizations. The port of Gaza was a major center for goods traveling across the region. Archaeologists have uncovered Byzantine-era mosaics beneath the city. The area has produced pottery and textiles for over 1,000 years. Gaza has long been known for its poets, scholars, and intellectuals. The city's architecture blends Islamic, Ottoman, and European influences. Many ancient streets in Gaza have been used for generations of merchants. Gaza has historically been called the gateway to Asia. The Khan Yunis market is one of the oldest trading centers in Palestine. Several of these streets were mapped by European travelers in the 1800s. Some buildings still have original wooden doors from the Ottoman era. The Gaza coastline was once lined with bustling shipyards. The city has seen waves of expansion, destruction, and rebuilding over centuries. Despite wars, Gaza's identity and heritage remain strong. The streets are full of bakeries, spice shops, and fresh produce markets. The people of Gaza enjoy traditional Palestinian coffee culture. Fishing is a major part of Gaza's coastal economy. Many homes have rooftop gardens to grow herbs and vegetables. Palestinian embroidery, or tatrees, is a cultural symbol of resilience. Gaza's local cuisine includes musican, makluba, and fresh seafood. Street vendors sell falafel, hummus, and fresh bread daily. Many shopkeepers have been in business for multiple generations. Gaza has a strong community and family-oriented lifestyle. Art and poetry are deeply ingrained in Palestinian culture. Gaza has a long history of handmade glass production. The city's beaches are a popular escape for families. Many families rely on olive and citrus farming for their livelihood. The call to prayer echoes through the streets 5 times a day. The call to prayer echoes through the streets 5 times a day. Despite difficulties, the city's markets remain full of life. Freshly baked Palestinian cock bread is a popular breakfast snack. Freshly baked Palestinian cock bread is a popular breakfast snack. The city's historic baths or hammams date back to Ottoman times. People in Gaza maintain strong traditions of hospitality and generosity. The Palestinian Cafe, a symbol of cultural identity, is commonly worn here. Sports like football, parkour, and martial arts are popular among Gaza's youth. The Al-Madhaf Museum preserves Palestinian history and artifacts from past civilizations. This city has experienced many historical conflicts, but continues to rebuild. Throughout history, Gaza has been at the center of major geopolitical struggles. Many of the buildings here have been rebuilt multiple times over the last century. The region has witnessed various phases of war and reconstruction over the years. Ancient records show that Gaza has endured conflicts dating back to the Assyrians in 800 BCE. Despite challenges, Gaza's people have always shown strength, resilience, and a deep connection to their land. The city has been shaped by waves of migration, trade, and rebuilding efforts. Gaza's name is derived from the Canaanite word Azza, meaning strength. This land has been inhabited by Canaanites, Philistines, and ancient Egyptians. In 734 BCE, the Assyrian Empire controlled Gaza as a key trade post. Gaza was once part of the Silk Road trade network connecting east and west. In 529 CE, Gaza was a major center for early Christian scholars and philosophers. Ancient Persian armies passed through Gaza during King Cyrus the Great's conquests. Gaza was one of the last cities to resist Alexander the Great's rule in 332 BCE. During the Islamic Golden Age, Gaza was a hub for scholars, poets, and merchants. The Al-Sayyid Hashem Mosque is believed to be the burial site of Prophet Muhammad's great-grandfather. The Al-Quds Hospital, originally built in Ottoman times, has served the city for centuries. Despite challenges, Gaza remains a city full of life, culture, and community spirit. Many young entrepreneurs in Gaza are starting online businesses and tech startups. Gaza's coastline is home to a thriving fishing industry, despite economic difficulties. Street markets here sell handmade Palestinian embroidery, jewelry, and ceramics. Locals in Gaza enjoy spending evenings at the beach, watching the Mediterranean sunset. Music, poetry, and storytelling are deeply rooted in Gaza's cultural traditions. Families in Gaza gather every evening for tea, storytelling, and community discussions. The Pasha's Palace in Gaza was built in the 13th century and later used by Napoleon Bonaparte. Many of Gaza's mosques and churches date back hundreds of years, surviving multiple eras. The historic Zawiya al-Ahmadiyya Mosque is a center for Sufi spiritual teachings. Gaza's old city features narrow alleys, historic archways, and ancient stone houses. Public courtyards and fountains were once gathering places for merchants and travelers. Gaza's architecture blends Ottoman, Mamluk, and Mediterranean influences. The Al-Khalidi Library in Gaza preserves rare Islamic manuscripts and historical texts. The Great Omari Mosque has been rebuilt multiple times due to earthquakes and wars. Gaza's spice markets are filled with the aromas of za'atar, sumac, and cardamom. Many Gaza residents rely on solar power to supplement their electricity needs. Local farmers grow olives, figs, citrus fruits, and almonds in Gaza's fertile lands. Gaza's economy includes fishing, agriculture, small businesses, and online freelancing. Despite limitations, Gaza's local markets continue to thrive with fresh produce and goods. The Souk al-Zawiya is one of the oldest and busiest markets in Gaza, selling everything from spices to fabrics. Gaza has been rebuilt countless times over the centuries, always rising again. This region has faced earthquakes, wars, and sieges, yet it continues to endure. In the late 19th century, Gaza was an important trade hub under Ottoman rule. Historic aerial photos show how Gaza's skyline has transformed over the decades. Many neighborhoods here stand on layers of history, with archaeological sites below them. Despite hardships, local businesses and markets have survived for generations. The people of Gaza remain committed to education, culture, and innovation. The streets of Gaza tell stories of ancient civilizations, trade, and survival. From sunrise to sunset, the city is alive with movement, work, and traditions. Beyond the headlines, Gaza is a place of resilience, hope, and rich history. Generations have called this land home, passing down traditions and stories. The sound of market vendors, children playing, and distant waves fills the air. Every corner of this city holds memories of the past and dreams for the future. The city wakes up early, with bakers preparing fresh loaves before dawn. Local families continue renovating and rebuilding their homes despite difficulties. Many children here dream of traveling the world, yet remain deeply connected to their homeland. Despite hardships, the community remains strong, united, and full of hope. Young people in Gaza are turning to technology, coding, and freelancing for new opportunities. Gaza's people have mastered the art of rebuilding and adapting throughout history. Creativity and innovation thrive here despite the many challenges. Palm trees line the streets, providing shade in the warm Mediterranean climate. Even in the hardest times, the people of Gaza find reasons to smile and celebrate life. The city's rich history and vibrant culture continue to inspire visitors and locals alike.